Hello, it's Kitty Skies back once again for the hidden levels. We're going to show you how to get all the gold trophy in 1000 HP time trials. There's an achievement tied to this. You can choose any character you want, but I tend to use the Grand Prix. Now it's not unlocked from the start, so you'll have to do some things to unlock it. I can't remember exactly what. And the other card I'd recommend is the Rat Rod. So these times are really tight. They're going to test your patience. And one of the biggest tips I can tell to you is to learn how to drift around corners without losing, because if you try and turn, you'll lose traction, which makes your car go slower. Although in this first track, it's not really applicable, it seems. You're gonna have to want to utilize these shortcuts like that one there, but these times are going to be really tight. You're going to want to do it multiple times. Make sure to finish the race, and then as your ghost goes faster, so will you. This first one isn't too bad to carry on the line. It's only up until this point here with you might accidentally hit the umbrellas and stuff. Try to take it a bit earlier than normal, and you should hit 48 seconds. I've had many times where I've crashed into the trees right at the end. The next track is Buccaneers Bay. Now, as a reminder, you must not change any of the rules, they must remain default. The only thing you should change is putting it to 1000cc. Buccaneers Bay is super simple, it's just 4 right turns. I avoid this shortcut because I don't think it's very good. It'll slow you down more than it will speed you up. Now, as a quick disclaimer, this code and game was provided to us for free by Vector Unit. Again, I didn't drift there, I just kept going on in a straight line. Now this final corner can be a bit difficult. I reckon take it a bit wider than normal, else you're going to clip the curb like I did there and flip. Fortunately, I kept it on. The next track is Crab Cove. You need to beat 37 seconds. I found this to be a bit challenging. You want to get enough speed to jump over this one here and kind of bounce yourself over. Because if not, if you go too slow, you're going to get slowed down. And this shortcut here, you want to try and take it inside. Watch out for the trees, as they will slow you down. Now this is the part where you want to drift corner. You just tap brake. You don't hold it, you just tap it once. But you keep the accelerator held down. Just tap it, and you'll see your wheels glow like so. And that means you won't lose any speed going around corners. That was 36.90. On to the next track. Paradise Beach was the one which I actually had difficulty on. Crab Cove was pretty easy, but this one becomes a bit harder. The track is longer, and it relies on you doing a shortcut. Again, do not worry if you don't do it first go. Shout out to Irish Warrior 022 as well. An amazing streamer on Twitch, twitch.tv/Irish Warrior 022. If you're into streamers, make sure to watch. Now again, back onto the subject at hand. You're going to want to drift through these corners, and there's a little tiny gap here which you can squeeze through, jump over, and that'll be a great shortcut. Now behind this rock to your right, there's also going to be another jump which you can take as a shortcut. This one was a bit tougher. It may take you a few tries. Don't give up. As you can see, I barely squeezed it, 41.95. The next track is Mushroom Grotto. There's no mushroom in this one, so be careful. I found this one pretty straightforward. I actually got it on my first attempt. I believe you should too. Again, you're going to want to initially drift around these corners. Now this track has a special shortcut here. If you veer slightly to the left or to the right if you're on mirrored, it'll take you across here. This cuts down the time substantially. And you can cut across this pond here, again saving even more time. But again, if you do fail, keep trying, you'll get there. I had about 0.70. That's quite a lot of leeway. Next race is Shark Harbour. This one is also pretty straightforward. However, the shortcut section can see you hitting the chicken a lot and slowing you down. So make sure to not choke your chicken. And make sure to actually hit the shortcut in full speed. The first shortcut is by here. It doesn't matter if you hit the shark. It won't speed you down. I like to drift around these corners to keep speed optimum. Now this is the part where where you hit the chicken there. It's very small gap. You might hit her a few times. I believe I hit her about 5 or 6 times. My chicken was really being choked, so yeah. Hopefully, you would have beaten that one as well. The next track is Fiesta Village. This one is a weird one, but one I do like. It's a bit longer than all the others, but as long as you get the shortcuts down, don't panic, you'll make it. There's a little shortcut here to the right. If you hit this in the correct angle, you won't lose any speed. Again, make sure to make use of your drift going around the corners. It may take a bit of practice to truly master the drifting. Nothing too complicated. Short, sweet and simple. I did say it was a long race, but it's actually not, it's not too bad. Although we only got 1/11 of a second spare, so that you might need a few tries. The next map is Shipwreck Reef. You're going to want to look at beating the time 44 seconds. The first shortcut is straight away behind the rock. It's a ramp which will see you jump over and onto the ship. It saves a great amount of time. Hello to my friend who just came online, Sylvia. Wonderful person they are. The second shortcut is on this ship here. You're going to want to hit the ramp and go off to the left. There'll be a short walk the plank, and again you'll hit another real nice shortcut. The final third of this circuit requires you to drift around the corners as such. This is what's going to make or break you. It took me quite a few tries this one, so again, don't be disheartened if it takes you more than one try. The next track is Misty Marsh. Honestly, I thought this was going to be the toughest, but it actually turned out to be one of the easier tracks. I avoid drifting in the first few corners, but this time you want to avoid the shortcut. It adds extra time. Just instead fly around this corner, watch out for the gators, and just go around maximum speed. And of course, drift by here. Aim to the right of this ramp, and you're going to want to nail the shortcut. As you can see here, there's a shortcut on this path section. That was indeed 46.71. The next track I was also are worried about Aquarius. It's one of those tracks which you never really know with it. I of course did it first go as well, and I believe that you should do it first go. If you're wondering about why my ghost was so slow on this one, it was because I was looking for collectibles. If you're wondering about collectibles like the Easter eggs, make sure to view our channel and subscribe for more. We have the complete Easter egg collection video on here. Again, that was the shortcut there. As you come out of the tube, hit the right. But other than that, really, it's smooth sailing. We meet the classic Tiki Temple. Again, I use the Grand Prix, and we go straight out. Who is your favourite character? I'd love to know if you want to comment below and tell me. Mine is definitely Mika's. So for this, we're going to hit the first ramp at left. We're going to go down his arm. Watch out, as these two corners can be quite sharp. We're going to want to take this shortcut here, across into the portcullis. Don't worry if you hit it, it's kind of see-through. And before you know it, you'll finish. Now, in my opinion, the next track, Dino Jungle, is by far the hardest one I've ever done. It's extremely tough, 42 seconds, and it took me about half an hour of frustration to beat it. Hopefully you'll beat it a lot quicker. You're going to want to just go straight across here, and try and hit it the same line I do. Where you hit one turtle, it bounces you over. Straight here. I like turtles. I found it was better to just simply avoid the second shortcut and instead just cut straight across here. The time is indeed very, very tight. I only just made that. Now the next track is also a very special one, Drytopia Stadium. You're going to be using a much different technique for this one. You're going to change the car. We are going to be using the waist rod. So make sure you've had the waist rod unlocked. If you don't have the waist rod, you can try it with the rad rod. But you're going to want extremely drifty cars. We're going to be using a lot of drifting in this level as it's a very drifty one. So straight away, we go into the drifting. Be careful as this is extra twitchy. You carry a lot of speed with this car when drifting, and it just allows you to throw yourself over these jumps as such. It might take a little while to practice and get used to it, but it's well worth it. Imagine you're a pendulum. That's the best way to do drifting. Okay, that was probably a bad explanation, but still. Woo! This is going to be the toughest corners. But hopefully you also nailed it like so. Between this and Dino Jungle, they are by far the two hardest tracks in the game. But I would definitely recommend using the waist rod for that level. The next is the new track Emblem. As it's a new track, I was also very nervous of it being pretty tough. Now it did of course take me a few tries. You're going to initially want to drift in the first two, take it a little wide and then come in here. You might hit the wall. It's a very tight corner. Cut the grass, don't worry, it won't slow you down. You could either go left or right there, I prefer right. Now you're going to want to slightly drift here. It will help carry your speed up these steps. What was the final? Hopefully you've got it. The next track is Scorching Sands. It's also a new track, I believe. You're going to want to take this exact line and watch out for the crocodiles. They will slow you down. Avoid them at all costs. This part is nice because in single player, well in the other modes, those axes are going to be swinging. In this, they're straight disabled, which is really nice. I like to personally take this line here. You go up this hill and land on the Great Wall of Egypt. No, I'm just kidding. The Great Wall of China. No, it's just a random wall. Yeah, but hopefully you'll beat it as well. We actually had a whole second there to spare. So you do have quite the lot of leverage with that one. The next is also a new track, Gold Rush Ridge. We're going to want to beat 50 seconds. This is one of the tracks which is also better to avoid the shortcuts, in my opinion. There's just too many obstacles in the mine to make it worthwhile. Instead of going down the mine, you're just going to want to fly across here. Not literally, unless you grow wings. Then by all means, feel free to do so. The second shortcut in this map is to the right. I did decide to take on it, as the train is disabled, so it makes this jump much more easier and convenient. I was also pretty scared about Red Planet. It's a very eerie track and the AI do tend to beat you a lot. However, I also believe I beat this one in the first attempt. So let's get to it. It's 51 seconds. Watch out for this part here because it can slow you down quite a bit. And now the way I angle this is quite funny. The plants will definitely slow you down, avoid those, but you want to hit that ramp there. See, my ghost was going flying there, but I accidentally hit the plants, but I actually do admit I took that a bit too wide there. Now, hopefully you won't take it as wide, and things will be okay. I only just managed about to salvage that. We had a whole second again to spare. We only have 6 tracks left. Hopefully you're getting the gold trophies on each level. Now this one is also another very tough time to beat. It took me quite a few attempts and altering of shortcuts to find the best approach. Essentially you want to kind of glide over the start line around here. The amount of times I hit the crab on the outside was frustrating. Now this corner is very tough as well. You want to try and go too far in, so you go down into this tube here, which will indeed save you quite a lot of time. Getting it right can be tricky, and it can take a few tries. But again, persistence is key. Keep at it. In the final corner, you're going to want to cut across the minefield here. There's a big gape right there, which you can get into. We are also in another new track, Drytopia. I decided to use the waist rod on this one as well because there's a lot of slaloms and turns. The Grand Prix just didn't cut it for this level. It's this corner here where you're going to want to drift. Be careful, as you can see there, the waist rod is super sensitive to drifting. So I had to restart this one. I don't normally mess up my edits, but when I do. So yeah, again, it can take quite a few attempts. Our ghost went flying. Keep practicing at this track and you'll get it. Now Blizzard Vale is quite the weird one. There's quite a lot of trees on the outside of the tracks which you can hit against and slow you down, especially on the shortcuts. So do not fear, if you do hit the trees or whatever, the obstacles, just restart, try again. Watch out for the snow piles, because again, they're obstacles, they'll slow you down. Of course, when you go into this cave, you're going to want to drift around. And the second shortcut will be coming up now. You're going to be in the air, you want to take it to you want to go aim a little bit more right than I did. The amount of times I crashed into that tree was annoying, as well as that tree. Just try and drift your way through the final third. With a bit of luck, you'll get there. Glacier Gulch is a classic track, one which I'm very familiar with. I used to race this track all the time on Beach Buggy 1. Shortcut is pretty simple and I did this the first go. Watch out because the penguins and other stuff can slow you down. Utilising this shortcut saves you a heap of time. And now you are on this final U-turn, you're going to want to stick to the right. There's a small ledge which you can cut across. We're an absolute legend of a shortcut. 2 whole seconds we beat that by. So you'll have plenty of leeway. Deathbat Ali is one of those tricky ones. As long as you can hit the right lines, you'll be fine. There's also a shortcut which we're going to utilise. Again, stick to the middle. Watch out for those volcanoes. Drift a lot. But the shortcut's right here. You're going to turn left. Hit the bumps. hopefully you don't go off over this last jump, and that should give you the home run. So again, biggest advice, don't give up so easily, keep up with the persistent. These times are very tight. But I believe in you. I believe in the fact you can beat all these levels. The final level is Fire and Ice. You see those spar bubbles there? They're the biggest threat of this run. I thought that this was going to be my downfall, but again, I did the second attempt. You're going to be going up kind of blind corners here. For turning back on yourself, I don't recommend drifting. I recommend just taking the inside line like you can see here. It's much quicker. You're going to want to drift through those corners. Now this is where the magic happens. You're going to want to hit the spars exactly like so. So you go across 3 of them. That should keep you at the optimum line. And hopefully you shall get your achievements. Like so. I'm Kitty Skies. Hopefully this guys helped you out. Please feel free to comment and thumbs up the video. I enjoy reading everyone's comments. If you have feedback, I'd love to hear it. There's my gamer tag on Xbox. It's also my Steam ID, my PlayStation ID, and everything else. Kitty Skies. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one. Also, if you want to watch more guides on Beach Buggy Racing 2, as well as other guides for games, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.